Thanks for sticking with us here on New York Living. Marisol Castro.
JD Roberto.
All right, we were all the pomp and circumstance. Back to school. Today was the first day kids are in classrooms. Many will be learning to use artificial intelligence to their benefit because these days it seems like it's being used for everything.
Everything.
Including therapy.
Yeah, which makes me a little nervous. But if artificial intelligence can replace the role of a human professional when it comes to something so delicate like mental health, I think that's a question we definitely need to be asking ourselves. Psychotherapist turned peak performance coach Hina is joining us to walk us through the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI therapy. Welcome to New York Living.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Such an important conversation here. Okay, so why are people even doing this? Why are people using ChatGPT instead of traditional therapy by a trained professional?
Well, it is happening more and more often, and there's a number of reasons. One, affordability. Secondly, 24/7 access. There's no wait times. You don't have to wait to find the right therapist either. You have it at your fingertips. It can feel non-judgmental, and it can also feel like you have a lot of anonymity when you're doing it as well. So it allows you to be vulnerable, and you can feel safer being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Safer being vulnerable with something faceless.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly it.
Okay.
And I think when we look at Gen Zers who are doing it more and more, what we can see is that they're comfortable with the technology. Right. So that's how they've been communicating with their friends. That's how they've been communicating. They've been breaking up with people over text. Right. So it's not that big of a deal. And this way they can share deeply personal things, and it can feel like they can at least get it off of their chest.
Okay.
So they're comfortable with the technology.
So I guess in that way, that might be a positive, right? That they're willing to share things with ChatGPT or whatever that they might not share with something else, but there have to be some downsides to this.
Totally. There's limits. I mean, people come to therapy and coaching to be seen. And the healing actually happens, right, Marisol, when you share something vulnerable with another human being and they're able to receive it in a non-judgmental way. That is part of the healing. The healing also happens like when you're talking maybe about your children, JD, and you get a little emotional. I saw something earlier on, and if we were working together, I might say to you, what's going on? Or tell me more. Or if you're hesitating in saying something, I can say, hey, what were you about to say? ChatGPT is not going to be doing
see the emotion, doesn't see the body language.
Human piece
it's the human piece. Like the way I see it is when my oldest was born, we got one of those baby swings. And I don't know if you had that or a baby bouncer, but it really helped a lot. It really helped. But I think we can agree it didn't take the place of being held. It didn't take the place of the growth that happens with human-human connection. So that's what I think of it. I think it can be good for some things. But not all things. Yes.
Okay, well, let's talk about the responsible do's and don'ts when it comes to using AI for therapy. Well, let's start with the do's.
So the do's, journaling. It can be great for some prompts. It can be great for some coping strategies, to brainstorm some things. Psychoeducation, it can be great for that. Goal setting, perfect. So those are ways that you want to use it.
Okay.
And the don'ts, where would you really not want to use it?
Don't use it to diagnose. And let me just say this for the people. Don't use it to diagnose your partner. Or your friends. Or your coworker. Don't be like, JD, I just think.
You know what? I just asked my friend Jasper, a.k.a. ChatGPT, and he said, you are, in fact.
And but there's nothing doctors like less than hearing somebody say, well, doctor, I looked this up. And they're like, well, I went to medical school.
That's right. So not for that, not for crisis situations, and of course not for deep, trauma processing.
Okay. I figured we would go through, and by I mean all of us.
All of us.
Subjecting us, we're going to subject ourselves to a little game. We're going to present a scenario.
I'm going to present a scenario, and I want you to tell me if you think this is something you could ask AI, or does it need professional help?
Okay.
First question. I'm feeling overwhelmed with work and need strategies to organize my day.
I think you could ask AI that.
I was just going to say, I'm going to yell over our cubicle and say, hey, can you ask AI?
Yeah. Because I feel like you're asking for strategies to organize, and I feel like organization is something, I don't know, you tell me, you're the pro, Hina, you tell me.
I completely agree, because ChatGPT AI can go into its bank of knowledge, get from the best places to find that out for you. So you're right.
To give you the to-do list and the this.
Exactly.
Okay,
beautiful.
And do it in a non-judgmental way.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I've been feeling hopeless for weeks and can't get out of bed.
Oh, no.
No, we need a human
real
for
help.
that.
Yes.
Real help.
We need
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah. We passed.
Okay, you guys passed. Yeah, for sure, because you've got to find out what is underneath the hopeless feelings. And again, you want to have some inquiry there. Okay, last one. I want to practice what to say before a difficult conversation.
Ooh. I'm going to say human.
I think AI could do that. I think you could get some, like, it would almost be like public speaking coaching. I don't know.
I mean, I think it could be either or. I think you could even start with AI and then go
practice
in front of
your
somebody.
coach
So
or your
there's sometimes
therapy.
where you could use both.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you guys did very well.
Look at us. Look at us using
Look at
our
us.
college degrees.
Put him to work.
If my therapist is watching, he's like, oh, dear God. Hina, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Lots of useful information. And if you would like to follow Hina on Instagram, it's @couch with Hina, Hina. Fantastic.
Love it.
I love it. I love it.